Greetings, everyone. Welcome to the Independent Producers Organization live showcase. And we're going to get right into it. We got some things that have happened recently that just turmoil all over the place. And you wanted to make a comment.
Yeah,
our sponsor.
Just a quick comment in regards to, we are constantly reaching out to vets. In fact, Richard's a vet, and I'm a vet too.
We can do that.
We're both veterans, et cetera. And we've been really promoting and outreaching to veterans and families of veterans and whatever, as far as their benefits, and trying to get them to take advantage of their benefits. They serve this country honorably. If you got a DD-214 and you've done that honorably, and in many cases, whether you're in Vietnam or the Iraqi wars and things of that nature, and some of the guys are still living as Korean vets, but many of them are missing. Many of these guys are missing, and they're not taking advantage of their benefits. And I'll tell you, they've got a real, as far as the medical benefits are concerned, they're just awesome. They're just awesome.
That's right.
And naturally, there was a big cry about the fact of the timing and people standing in line and not getting their service and this and the other. I just happen to be sitting on the board now.
Okay.
I'm sitting at the board now, and I tell you, they've got many benefits, and they're constantly massaging that and checking it out to see whether or not those guys are being taken care of. Just recently, they signed off, and they're still working on getting all the other particulars together. They just signed off the fact that as far as just VA benefits, just going to the VA and going through the healthcare system there, you can actually go outside of the VA system and go to private doctors for services, and that's an awesome piece aspect of it.
That's amazing.
That's a very amazing piece, and then all they're doing now is going through the whole issue of actually going through the application process to these doctors and getting them to sign up to make sure that they meet a certain criteria.
Right.
So we don't fall in the same situation.
Sure.
So that's another good piece. The other thing that it just so happened I was there today at the meeting, which I'm on there now, but with a number of other agencies and the like, and they had mentioned about the vocational education aspect of it, voc ed, but they've got another piece that talks about just helping homelessness and folks who are just out of work and this, that, and the other, who want to work, who would like to work. And there's an opportunity. There's a separate entity for them, and they're building up on that end of it. And just briefly, what it means is that if you're 60, 65 years old, you can go in and apply for a job. Tell them you need a job, and in fact, if you don't even have a car, there's a program there within that particular program. You will fill out your deal, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. They'll check with you, whatever. They've got an entity that will give a veteran a car to go get to that job. Isn't that something? Mm-hmm. To get to the job.
Yeah, but
no cost.
Okay.
And the monies that they get, a minimum, let's say startup would be, the minimum wage, and in some cases, beyond that. For instance, they were talking about this situation where you can get $20 an hour plus start. Surgical processing, kind of like cleaning up the utensils, within the operating room or whatever.
Okay.
And they'll train you for 6 months, and you get paid. You'll get paid. There's no taxes on it at all. You just get that flat rate aspect of it, whatever. And if you're homeless or whatever, your background check, all that stuff, you don't have to worry about that stuff. Mm-hmm. They just get you in and talk with you and to try to get you to do something, because that's the key. And that's where a lot of the vets, a lot of the guys, they're just not busy enough, and they get in their opioids and drugs and things of that nature. So there's some interesting programs, some fun programs. As you know, I've got, the organization that I'm identified with is the No Vets Left Behind Oregon. And we had a couple shows about that the other day in regards to, we're getting people that, taking them down to the VFW, Veterans Foreign Wars, because they have the contract as far as the application process for benefits. And in fact, I'm going on Friday. I'll be going down with a guy who's in the wheelchair in his home. He called me because as a result of the show, and he called me, and I spoke to him about this, that, and the other, and I'm going to be meeting him down at VFW in Vancouver, and we're going to be taking him through the process, which is great. And so for those of you who figure that if you're parents of a vet and you're sure that they need benefits and whatever, you need to look into it, because in all due respect, it's available. They got a new program called the RAMP. Meaning that a lot of times what happens is that when you're appealing a process, for instance, if a person about 66, 65, or 70 years old, they've been unemployed for let's 5, 10 years or something like that, you can go in and apply for work, and in all due respect, you apply, and they'll compensate you for that if in fact you go through the process and you're able to work, but you can't work for whatever reason, whether it be medical reason or this, that, and the other, and they'll interview you as an individual, if you will. And within 125 days, you'll get a response.
Oh,
so it's some good stuff. So keep that in mind. Again, Oregon, no vets left behind. No vets left behind in Oregon, and that's Bruce Broussard. Okay, fine.
That's right. I'm glad you're on the deal
yes,
for that.
Yes, we're going to have some of those guys, and men and women both, to come on the show to tell them about the fact that they got those benefits.
Okay.
As a result. Okay.
That'll work.
We'll do that. Okay. But I want to throw that out there first.
Okay.
All right. Good. We got that out the way. Okay.
All right. Now, we're talking about our being a war zone, like it says on the paper.
Yes.
I just wanted to say that I tried to get a guest. There are different groups around the country,
right.
California, Minnesota, that are involved deeply in trying to deal with immigration. And I tried to get them, and they are so busy trying to push people back to their countries of origin that they wouldn't have time to call me and do anything.
Who was it? Anybody in particular?
Well, CAPS down in California, for one.
Okay, they're that busy.
That was Gazzardi that ran for governor in California.
Okay.
They're just too busy.
Wow.
And I tried to contact someone here at ICE. They've been so many people, protesters, they're overwhelmed by them that I really couldn't expect to talk to anybody there. I did work my way through some people to talk to someone, I guess, down in Salem. They said, send an email. I sent an email, and I haven't heard from anybody. I'm probably not going to. I just think those people are too busy trying to deal with
well, let's talk about why they're so busy. Because I think we need just talk just common sense stuff. From a standpoint. I mean, ICE is not something that's just doing this on its own. The taxpayers paid for that entity. These are government employees, if you will. You got my point? Our elected officials made the decisions that we needed that particular program to basically police, if you will, some of those problems or areas that we're having among the illegal situation, right? That's basically what they are. They're basically no difference than Portland Police, but Portland Police is just the immediate area citizenry aspect of it. They're kind of like, looking at specifically the universal deal as far as illegals, folks who are here illegally, and a lot of times crime laden, that kind of stuff.
Right, and having that many illegal people and everything that they have, their chain migration, all that, is costing American taxpayers $330 billion.
Wow.
I would think we would be concerned about that.
Wow. And another thing too, people need to understand. Our legislators, our representatives from this state, made the decision through the process, if you will, to fund such a program.
Okay.
So when folks start getting all excited about, we want to get rid of ICE, the first person you want to call is your local congressman and senator. I mean, we got them here. I mean, that's who they represent us, and then they make a decision over there. But they're from Oregon. You got my point? Call them up, and you share your feelings because they're making decisions.Maybe there might be some ideas that you can do a better mousetrap to talk to the issues that they instituted this ISIS thing, maybe something else. But you got to tell them because they represent us, right, and they make the decisions.
But it helps to know these things.
Yes.
And one of the things we need to know is that ICE tries to get rid of the worst criminals.
Yeah.
They want to get rid of the really bad guys.
Yeah, right.
And when you say get rid of ICE, I say, why do you want more bad guys to come in our country?
Right.
And cause so much trouble?
And the person who can answer that definition even better are the folks we elected to office.
Okay.
From Congress and senator.
All right.
Okay, we got 2 senators from this state, right?
That's right.
And then we got the regular Congress person,
Right.
representative, right? Okay. And Earl Blumenauer, in all due respect, this is his district. I think it was the 2nd or 3rd district.
Right.
But anyway,
Right.
the Congressman Earl Blumenauer is the person who, as far as he's kind of like responsible with the other entities that put the ICE situation together. Mm-hmm. Now, majority vote or whatever, but I mean, that's another issue as far as that crisis up there. But the bottom line is that he's our representative,
Right.
and he knows what the criteria was to IE to form such an entity to respond to that issue.
Okay.
That's the first person you go to.
Okay.
You got me?
That's fine.
Is that
That's
fair?
fine.
You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
That's right.
And so now when we're talking about the whole issue of, we had two weeks in a row. The last 2 weeks in a row, we had the issue of protesters. Protesters, and we had a mayor who's representing the mayor of the city of Portland.
Yeah.
And it's in his jurisdiction. But again, too, he's an elected official by the same folks that elected the Blumenauer situation.
Right.
They're part of that process. Why couldn't they have gotten their heads together? Somebody doesn't know the definition of what ICE is. I mean, it should be as far as I'm concerned, it should be Blumenauer's responsibility to educate the mayor about what is the definition of ISIS and what is his responsibility.
Okay. Right.
And then the mayor, in turn, would respond to us because that's that's his jurisdiction, 8 to 5 every day, right? You got
Okay.
it? and then the congressman and the senator then should be the ones that would give them whatever they need, if you will, to educate the public, the voting public.
Right.
Why ICE, what it's doing, whatever. Not us trying to figure out and trying to share with the rest of the folks out there, the other voters, and that's looking the other way. And people are just kind of taking it upon themselves. I don't like them because this.
Right.
And then the media helps out the situation.
Right.
They don't help out the situation a lot of times. I mean, look at the papers here. I mean,
They had
I
a
got the
picture
Atlantic
of-
Week here. I got the Tribune. I got the Oregon, and all of them are just kind of like, because it's partisan politics, right? So this is going along with the partisan politics. So okay, we got a bunch of liberals here. And okay, fine. That's your right.
Okay.
That's your right. You can register. We got so many groups now. We don't know what's going on. But the fact of the matter is that normally it's the Republican Party, Democrat. Those are the two dominant party. Well, a lot of times people tend to identify that Portland is a Democratic city. A Democratic majority.
Yeah, or an open one or something.
Democratic. And so consequently, the Democrats don't like ISIS. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Something's wrong with that.
Right.
Okay?
That's
so
right.
I'm saying, I think the first step that we should be taking right now is that Earl Blumenauer, Congressman Earl Blumenauer,
Right.
and maybe Ron White, who's well recognized within this area, senator. He's one of the two
That's right.
senators with Merkley. And those two people should get together with the mayor and say, let me tell you what ISIS is all about and how it came about. Now, if you got some problems with that, tell us how you build a better mousetrap to deal with the issues that ISIS is dealing with.
Okay.
Then we'll take that back, if you will, to Washington, D.C., and we'll throw that on the table for the entire country, and then everybody have this discussion. At the end of the day, they may do some addendums or something like that. But
Okay.
the fact of the matter is, they are the ones that's responsible to do that. You just don't get up all of a sudden and say, well, we're just going to go out and we're just going to have a demonstration, and we're just going to tear up things. We're just going to go downtown and blow things up. And then you got the mayor who's sitting here saying, okay, fine. All right, police, since this is partisan politics, I don't like the famous word, I don't like Trump. Trump doesn't have anything to do with the ISIS situation.
Nothing. Right.
I mean, just really basic. He doesn't have any. Look, it's a problem. We got a problem in Oregon. We got a problem in Portland. Mm-hmm. It's a problem with me. It's a problem with you. My point is that the problem with us is that we're paying for it.
That's right. They're coming to our city and
You see?
causing more trouble.
All kinds of problem aspect of it. And, and I'm looking at these young people, and I, having been a recruiter, that's how I came as a Marine recruiter. And like I said, we're both military guys, just as I started out with the benefits and whatever. Look at all those young people that are out there now. They're going to be growing up. They're going to be what? Next generation is going to be another generation of homeless folks. That's really sad in such a rich country that we have.
That's right. It could be.
But if they had that VA in the front of them, that DD-214, they wouldn't have to worry about any medical problems,
Okay.
any housing problems.
Okay.
You understand what I'm coming
Right.
from?
That's good.
See, and that's some serious stuff.
That's
and
right.
But it's kind of like, okay, now with the military, it's the same old deal. Well, I don't want war. Well, no one wants war.
Right. No one wants war,
No one
especially
wants
the
war.
guys
I
that
don't
have
want
to
war.
fight it.
Yeah, right. But the fact of the matter is, the military has been, in all due respect, the military has been the melting pot for this country.
Okay.
I mean, for race and anything else.
Yeah, I think it has.
It's been the melting pot, and it's been an asset because some of the folks who fall through the cracks when they're not graduating from school or this, that, and the other, don't have a job, don't know where to go. You put that first 2 years in the military, everybody in the military has a job. Everyone has a job,
Okay.
and you get paid accordingly. And you can go as far up as you want to. It's up to
Okay.
you. But everybody has a job.
Okay.
At the end of that 2 years' time, you can, an employer is there to hire you right off the bat because you've got the experience and
That's
experience.
right.
Because what's the thing that normally employers say? What kind of experience have you had? Right.
That's right.
You got me?
That's what they want.
That's why you have more people from military, prime military, on the police force.
Okay.
That's exactly why. Because they've got that background. Because many of them were MPs, military police, or this, that, and the other, or CIA, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
My uncle was an MP.
Yeah.
Like on the trains.
Yeah.
With
yeah,
the troop
yeah.
trains.
But there are many jobs.
Second World War.
Yeah, I mean, I know some guys right now that I've been dealing with because they're part of the VA and whatever. Some of them are pilots. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I saw a helicopter pilot there. Guy's driving a real nice looking truck. I mean, all of a sudden now he's making an application to get on the airline. He's got the background. He's going to be a pilot, an airline pilot.
You know, we don't have enough people in the military that can become pilots.
That's right.
We need.
That's right.
I don't know where they
All
learn.
commercial pilots.
Where do the flight pilots
That's
learn?
right. All mechanics.
Yeah.
The mechanics. So my point is that we really need to start taking a hard look. Why did we get to this particular point that we're having to have this conversation?
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
It really gets into me to see those young people out there demonstrating, and you ask them, well, why are you doing this? Well, they might use the immigration deal, or they might use the DACA thing, or this, that, and the other.
Oh yeah.
Well, then I'll ask them, what about yourself? What are you doing for yourself? Are
Okay.
you working? Do you have a job? Are you going to school? Someone will say, well, I'm going to Portland State. Oh, you getting ready to graduate? What where are you pursuing your degree?
Right.
Well, I graduated. I don't have no job. Or if not that, I'm going to school, but I figured, well, it's right downtown Portland. Mm-hmm. And I don't have anything to do on the weekends. I can just come down here and demonstrate. I'm just looking.
Right. Okay.
But, you know, we've all gone through that when we've gone through school.
That's right.
You know, the whole 9 yards. So that's a very serious situation, and I'm not trying to take over the conversation aspect of it, JJ. We're just talking about this deal. It's a very serious situation, and people like myself and you, we're concerned about that. And I'm concerned about their futures. I want them to be productive. Mm-hmm. I want them to have families. You know my point?
Yeah.
See what I
right.
mean? Because those are our grandkids. Those are our kids.
That's right.
See what I'm saying?
What'll
It's
happen.
as if to say that they don't even exist now with us. You know, they just say, let's throw them under the roof, or let's open up the ovens. That's a very negative conversation. But my point is that the old folks, you know, look, everybody's going to get to this age.
Yeah. That's right.
You're going to get at this age. And
If they get there.
you're guaranteed. You're
Right.
right. You say, but this protesting thing, all of a sudden, and then here we go. And look, I don't want to take away anybody wanting to run for office and win it, but be qualified. At least have some background where you've been involved, if you will, with community. Mm-hmm. And I'm using him as an example because, in all due respect, I know he's trying hard, and I'm talking about our present Mayor Wheeler.
Okay.
You know what I mean? In all due respect, he wasn't even a dog catcher guy, just going out and in the communities and getting animals and taking them down to Humane Society, or just any different kind of elected official, elected position that he would been acquainted with the area.
Okay.
He had no acquaintances other than the fact he was born here, raised here, went to school, but he never participated in the areas that we're having to respond more in.
Okay.
You know, like the protesters. Antifa, these are young kids. These are young men and women. Some of them are older.
And some of them just want something to do.
Something to do.
And you know, I don't even think not every one of them knows what they're protesting
That's right.
about.
That's right. That's right. That's what I'm saying. The Earl Blumenauers of the world, and all due respect, and Senator Wyden are going to have to get together and put this young man, this young mayor together, and educate him about what is going on. I mean, a good example of that, Steve Dunn, right? He has that, Your Vote, he has that My Vote, Your Vote on Channel 2 on Sundays. At 9 o'clock in the morning. And he interviews folks from the area. You know what I mean? And he was talking about homelessness and whatever, and he had 4 mayors on. 4 mayors.
Really?
And this group of mayors had put together this organization. They'd been around for about 5 years or so, or whatever. And they kind of shared discussions and this, that, and the other, and they were unaffected, and what affects when they come over here, what does this do this, etc. Very, very intelligent conversation. But guess what? The mayor of Portland wasn't sitting there.
Okay.
The mayor of Portland, they had the mayor from Tualatin,
Oh, yeah.
Oregon City, Beaverton, and Lake Oswego. They were all there, okay? And that the mayor of Portland wasn't there. And I think Steve asked one question at one point in time, said, well, look here, what impact does Portland have on your respective cities? Oh, quite a bit. But then when you look at their areas, they don't have the same problems that we have in the city of Portland.
Okay.
And these are older folks. In fact, Vancouver, the mayor from Vancouver, Washington.
Oh, really?
Was sitting in that committee too. Okay?
Should have known that guy's name. What?
No, it's a woman now. It's a woman now.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, she just
That'll
got,
take
she
care
just
of
got
that.
elected, and she's sharp as a whack. You know what I'm saying? Between her and Lou Ogden, who's been there for quite some time. He recently ran for Bureau of Labor. But look at the background these folks have. They know what's going on. You know what I mean? They know where the bones are hidden. You know what I mean? And they could work together, because they're borders too. They could catch some of those people before they come here.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? See, they cross the border. We right here. And I thought that was very exciting. But I think Steve spoke to Ted Wheeler over the phone when he interviewed these folks. But that was over the phone. They weren't there. He wasn't there physically around the table. And Ted was talking about, well, when he went back to D.C., he interviewed other mayors from other cities around the world.
Okay.
It had nothing to do with Portland, Oregon.
Right. We have our own set of problems.
Right. And if you got all the territories around the city of Portland are represented. He should be part of that group.
That's right.
See? So I'm asking the mayor now, well, why weren't you there? He doesn't know. So now we're telling him. Because he won't answer his phone. I've called him on a number of occasions. But now he should come on the show. Well, I'm not trying to embarrass him. I'm just saying, hey, son, you've never been here. You don't have Richard Carpenter's background, and you don't have mine.
Right.
We've been out in the communication field. We've been out here with the little folks.
Okay.
Days. And you need that support. See?
You know,
I hate to keep going on.
You talk about Wheeler may not be the whole problem.
Right.
But I'm driving down the street, and I have to hang on to the wheel because of all the potholes. It's incredible. I can't believe I have to do that. And I still hit a bump and a bump. And I keep asking, I say, can he get back on the potholes? Well, you got to call the pothole people. I think I'd rather call you and have you get on the pothole
take care of it. Yeah, that's right. That's exactly. And in all due respect, he's got bureaus. He's got 4 other commissioners and himself.
Yeah, right.
And there's a bureau there that represents that pothole. Well,
right.
Educate the people about who to call.
Okay.
And who's in charge of the pothole division.
I think it's...
And then maybe they can come on this public television, right? Public television, and educate people. Say, let me tell you what the process is.
Right.
We're asphalting so many streets at a time, and we're having here's the list, the priority list, and we're doing it this way and this way. But we do have an emergency unit that if all of a sudden the thing is so big, we're going to get someone out there right away. You see what I'm saying? That's simple. See what I'm saying? You don't have to be on the list, but if you can show, we all have these. Let's see, we all have these, don't we? We have those.
Yeah.
You can take a picture of it.
Oh, okay.
And you can email it to him, right? You can text it. Hey, look, here's the deal. To the person who takes it, it might be transportation, right? Might be in the transportation. I understand that he's going to be changing the bureaus here.
Yeah, he is.
And what's her name? Cho Daly? She's going to be the transportation person now.
Oh, okay.
So they need to call. You need to call her. And then, in all due respect, I think it would be an awesome idea if each one of those commissioners and the mayor should have a show once a month. Once a month.
They don't have to have a whole hour.
No, this was once a month.
Okay.
You know? And
right.
If not that, identify some of the producers like you and maybe not me right now, but they might be a little too much on that. He was never in the military. But anyway, but the bottom line is that he could come and just talk to the people who are communicating to the people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
This is what you should do if you made the say, I'm worried about these potholes.
Yeah.
What do I do? But then you get angrier, and then when he gets ready to wants to run for office, he said, that's the last person I want to run. He doesn't understand. You know everybody down your block, the next block, and then sometimes you might get angry enough to go down there like Joe Walsh does. You know Joe's a senior citizen. He's always there on Wednesday morning, yelling at the mayor, calling him F words and this, that, and the other. And the young man don't know how to deal with Joe. He's a vet.
Okay.
He's a Navy veteran, very articulate, very sharp.
Okay.
And you know, if you and I, Joe's been on the show. He's been on my show.
Oh yeah. Okay.
You know, and the bottom line, he's very articulate, and he's got something on his mind. But you got to be able to, if you're in a position where you've got to have the answers, you got to be able to communicate to Joe. You've got to understand Joe. It's not you rebelling on Joe.
Okay.
And cursing him out. No. Joe, why are you cursing me out?
All right.
You see, does that make sense?
You're right.
Or if not that, have an ombudsman or somebody in the crowd or something that picks up the phone and says, okay, fine, Mr. Walsh, what's on your mind? You're angry. Mr. Carpenter, what's on your mind? Well, potholes. Okay, potholes where?
Okay.
Well, what street is it on? What's et cetera? Well, blah, blah, blah.
It's all over, right?
If you're a senior citizen, then yeah, because I have an old car, and you know, and all of a sudden I got a flat tire, and it's late night. I'm going down to the store, and I don't know what somebody might mug me. That makes a lot of sense.
Right. Okay.
Are you getting my point?
That's right.
See, so Ted, in all due respect, this is not just that. The fact of the matter is, you bought the election.
Okay.
Now you got it, and that's why you're having so many problems. You got to communicate better.
Okay.
You know, and just jump right up with the police thing. You don't go outside of the outside. We got a police force. We just happen to have a union, and the union president happens to be a policeman.
Oh.
And he happens to be a minority. He's an African American, and so all of a sudden that guy he basically in charge of the troops, the ground troops.
Okay.
So then we got a chief.
Okay. Right.
That works under the mayor, right?
Right. See.
Do you think that the chief of police that we have, and hey, I don't have anything against Chief Outlaw. She's a woman, yeah, fine. Yeah, she's very articulate, etc. But the fact she doesn't know as much as Daryl Turner. There's no way.
Right.
The guy's been here almost 15, 20 years. And he deals with these troops every day.
That's right.
There's got to be a close relationship, if you will.
She has some from Oakland. She has some experience.
Yeah, but not Portland, Oregon.
Right.
See, that's where I'm going.
We sure are different.
Portland, Oregon. Okay.
Yeah.
And the guy who knows Portland, Oregon, who deals with the police, his name is Daryl Turner.
Okay.
He's a policeman. He just so happened to be president of the union.
Okay.
As far as I'm concerned, that should be an automatic when you say a chief. Okay, you might want to get someone outside the area, but maybe that's Chief 1 and Chief 2.
Okay.
You have two chiefs. Okay, you got one that you may want to deal with kind of okay, that's maybe the assistant chief. Put him over here and talk with you. But the chief should be someone dealing with those troops every day.
Okay.
And knows that community. Because those people on the phone, on the pavement are dealing with individuals every day. And they report to guess who?
Okay.
I mean, that's what the military is all about, right?
Okay, right.
I mean, ordinarily we don't just go around, and the first sergeant normally take care of the work, right?
Okay.
But the old man runs the shop.
Right.
And the old man deals directly with the old man, right? I mean, the sergeant major, whomever, deals directly with the man through the command. Because the guy's got a colonel or somebody is in charge, the CO of the company or the CO of the battalion or this, that, and the other. But it's a chain of command routine. It's paramilitary. But if you try to divert that, that's why we have the problem. Look at the argument that was going on there. Daryl Turner made the point about the fact the city was a cesspool.
Oh, yes.
And he was right.
Now I can remember.
Yeah, he was a cesspool, but he was right. But that's not his job, if you will. That's the mayor's job.
Okay. Okay.
This is about police work.
That's right.
And the definition of police work is basically defined and voted on through the mayor from the people. Mm-hmm. We're the one that put the guidelines together.
Okay.
And the police basically say, okay, fine, we tell them to do it. And then if they're not doing it right, then they have to massage. Then it goes back through the process. We have to come up with an addendum and change it a bit, right?
Okay.
It's a process. But this piece about here's the president of the union arguing with the mayor. If I was sitting down there as the mayor, I wouldn't be arguing with anybody, because I would be responsible enough that union Daryl would respect me.
Okay.
Because I knew what police work was all about.
That's right.
One, I got background. I'm military too. I understand that chain of command.
Right.
But the respect of that mayor has to be such that that person has to be in a position that he's showing, because that's part of our voting. We're looking for leadership when you vote. You got me? And we've just kind of gotten out of bounds, and now people can buy the racists. They can buy a position.
Okay.
And we don't go through that whole process of the buying the position. You know what I'm saying? So now, while he's going through on-the-job training, we're suffering, and we're paying for it.
That's right. Yeah.
See? So I'm,
Interesting.
you see what I mean? So I'm saying to the press, the same thing with the press. He's finally, it's my understanding, he's going to have a press conference now on an ongoing basis,
Okay.
talking to the press. But for instance, where's Daryl Turner? Mm-hmm. When he's talking about police.
Okay.
Okay, I've got Chief Outlaw here, and boom, and people like her, yeah, but she's not doing the police work.
Okay.
She's not doing the police work like Daryl Turner. That's a fact.
Right.
See, she can't go into, it's like saying so many words, like in those protesters aspect of it. I mean, she can't go in that crowd, and just start talking to those folks. But a Daryl can. Mm-hmm. Because, what I'm saying? Because he knows the people.
Okay.
If they're from out of town, he'd know who they are. You see what I'm saying? That's the bottom line. See what I'm saying?
Okay.
So it's just sometimes it's just plain old common sense. But you can't just OJT and on-the-job training in a city like Portland. You can't do it. Okay. You got to have some background of involvement with community and the people within that particular area before you start talking about, well, I'm going to be your spokesperson. Because you're representing me. Now I do understand the difference between an employer and an employee. I'm the employer.
Okay.
He's the employee. And I'm looking for someone that can do the job. I mean, that's what every employer does, right?
Okay, right. That's right. You want experience.
That's right. We've lost that. So we got to get that experience on that job. I don't know how they're going to change the criteria for wanting to run for office, but I think that should be taken in consideration in the application process.
Okay.
Who in the heck are you? What have you done? How many buildings have you been in? How many associations have you been in?
Yeah,
how many people have you talked to? I mean, that's valuable stuff.
Right. That's right.
And then we suffer.
It's experience.
It's experience. So both from the county and the city. I mean, the Kafori's been there. She's been chair of the board, but again, she's in charge. I mean, I know she's in charge, the county aspect of it.
Okay.
See, this housing thing that the mayor is kind of trying. No, it doesn't take a blind person can see what's going on with that piece. He's just pushing housing for the high tech folks that are coming here to work.
And immigration.
Homeless folks,
a little bit of everybody.
Homeless folks can't afford no housing. No high rise and this, that, and the other.
Yeah.
I mean, just common sense would tell you, well, we got 40 units here, and we're gonna put 3 for homeless. Well, after a while, what do you mean? You're gonna have a homeless person going? You gotta still have to pay rent.
And it still has to be so much in order to get a return on the
that's right.
money.
That's right. That's not the answer.
Right.
I got the answer.
You got to have that.
But he's gonna have to come out. We'll talk about it. But I mean, I got some ideas, but that's not my job, right?
Okay.
We've hired him, so we're just sharing with him. Now, hopefully, he doesn't get upset. Maybe he might pick up the phone and come down on the show next time around or something. And just be it. We can help him out big time.
I wonder if he has Comcast cable.
Oh, he does. He looks at it all the time. I think he does. You know what I'm saying? when he has the time. You know.
Oh, all right.
I think he's starting to tweet now and this, that. Every so often I get him. He's still one of my followers. You know, whether or not.
Oh, really?
But he doesn't respond to me.
Oh,
directly.
okay.
But anyway, but my point is that I hope he understands. I'm trying to help him out. See,
Right.
I mean, I'm just
right.
trying to help him out because the reason why I want to help him out, it helps me too.
Well, sure.
See,
sure.
because I got a wife and I got family and this, that, and the other, and I'm paying the bill.
Okay.
And I don't like the idea of getting another bill saying, okay, fine, we got to raise the price of this or raise the price of that, because we had some demonstrations down there. That
That's
cost
right.
money. You got me?
That's
Those guys
right.
are getting overtime, and this $26,000, $50,000. TriMet had to pay some money. Lake Oswego paid some money. City paid some money.
I wonder if the population is looking for that now, the citizens of Portland.
Well, they're
Are they
so angry. They're so angry. That's why a lot of folks just go down there to see what's going on. And then you got the troops that are coming from outside of Portland, Oregon, that are saying, hey, I got nothing else to do. I can go out here and bang some
That's
heads.
right.
Why can't I bang up some heads? You know what I'm saying?
That's
You got
right.
me?
That's why they can come here.
That's right. They don't go to your house. and
They
bang
wouldn't
your
be
head.
working full time if they could have come
That's
to
right.
these things.
That's right. You know, so I mean, you know, we need to really talk about these issues, because that's the problem we're having right now. I don't want to see any more demonstration. As far as I'm concerned, the way I think we should be doing it, sure, it's freedom of speech and whatever, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But hey, make sure that anybody that wants to do that kind of that scale of a demonstration, they have to have a permit.
Okay.
They have to have a permit, and they go through the process for the permit. And once
All
they
right.
go through the process of permit, then they take them in, and then they go before city council, and they're given the time to talk to. I'd like to have a permit. I'd like to have a permit for this, that, and the other.
Do they have
And
to?
introduce.
Do they have to do that?
They don't do that now. They should do that in the front
Okay.
of city council. That's better than him dealing with the activism at City Hall now. This would be a better deal. You know, okay, fine. You want to permit the deal, and maybe we might set a podium or something, kind of somewhere, maybe on some grounds, maybe during the week, not on the weekend. The weekend, I'd like to get down there and have a cup of coffee on the waterfront, and
Right.
sit down with my wife or just walk around. You got my point?
Okay.
But do it in some place where you can, okay, fine, hear what they have to say, give them that opportunity, the freedom of speech aspect of it. But they has to be able to say, well, okay, fine, we're doing this, but it's going to be of a benefit to the city. Not just, I want to do this because it's just for me. Mm-hmm. No, it has to be for the citizens.
Okay.
Because it's impacting the citizenry.
That's right. It
That's a
costs
very
them
important
money.
piece, see? And that's what the mayor's position is. He's representing the citizenry. So let the people talk. And then if they said, okay, fine, then people are aware because it's been on TV, the media's there. They can say, okay, fine, there's going to be a march on such a time, such and such a date for this particular cause. Bang. If you want to join, you can join. But here's the criteria. You can't bring any weapons. You can't do this. You got to stay along the marchway.
Yeah.
You can't break out, if you break up any windows or this, that, and the other, guess what? You're going to be arrested, and you're not going to pass go. You're going to go direct to the jail. And
Okay.
and then you're going to stay in jail for a while. Basically, the police picks them up, takes them down to the sheriff, and that morning they get good and clean up, and the next day they're cleaning the stuff up.
Okay.
They're cleaning the stuff. No minimum wage.
Which, when you talk about that, you talk about what the protesters left
Yeah.
over there next
Yes,
to the ice
exactly.
building,
Yes.
and $12,000 to
Yes.
clean that up.
That was just city. It was more than that. See, because TriMet had to pick up some of that.
Oh,
bill.
all
You
right.
got my point? And the railroad had to pick up some of that bill because that was part of the railroad. See, so it wasn't it wasn't just $12,000.
And railroad shouldn't have to put up with that.
Yeah, how much would it cost? What about the frustration and the stress that it put on the citizenry?
Yeah.
Can we put cost behind that? What if,
Okay.
you know, I'm working. I work 5 days a week, 8 hours a day. I'm off. I got a family, and I want to walk downtown on Saturday.
Yeah.
I want to enjoy that waterfront. I
Okay.
want to put a blanket out there on the greens there, right off of NATO Way there.
Sure.
And just sit down there and I want to what is it, those kiosks or whatever you call it, those deals where you can just go up and buy a cup of coffee and sit back and chat and whatever.
Okay.
That's what I expect. That's why I spent the money to have that thing all nice and greeny out there and beautified. I can't go downtown anymore.
That's right.
I might get mugged.
Well, that's true too.
See, and but I'm paying not to get mugged. That's why I got a police
That's right.
department. And the person who's running it, who's in charge of it, is the mayor and those 4 city council persons. He's the commissioner of the police department. That's one of his bureaus.
Okay, that's right.
You got my point? So hey, and I even sent him a tweet. I said, hey, look, you may want to give up that commission, police commissioner. And I suggested either Salzman or Nick Fish. They're older, the oldest people there. And naturally, I knew that Salzman's getting ready to leave. Yes, but for the interim, let him have it. He's an older guy. He's a little bit more aware. He's a business kind of a guy. He'll sit down with Moose and whomever. I mean, not Moose, but Daryl Turner and whatever.
Well,
sit down and talk to them about this piece. You got me? And I'm sure he'll come up with some ideas. He's been around. And Nick has been there, but he's ill right now. He just recently won another 4 years, and so we got to give the man an opportunity to recoup. He wants to do something, he's very articulate. He's sharp as hell, and sometimes as part of the rehab, doing something will kind of get you back to that piece. So, but I don't see him having to deal with that right now.
Okay.
But I think Dan could do it right now, or if not that, there are folks out there that can deal with it. Bring Turner at the table.
Okay.
Don't just speak to the chief outlaw.
Because he's out there talking.
Yeah, we got 2 chiefs at the police department.
Right.
We got his personal chief, and we got the chief of the troops.
Okay.
Now he claims to be in charge of them, but he doesn't know how to deal with both of them. And the way you deal with them is very simple: put them both at the table,
Okay.
because he's going to be talking about the solution, but he's got both there at the same time. Because realistically, she can't really make any major decision until she goes through him. If you hear what I'm saying.
Okay.
He knows what's going on. So like a CO.
Okay.
That's a CO talking about a problem, and the first sergeant is not there.
Oh, yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, right. That's a good
We're familiar
comparison.
with that, right?
Good comparison.
You understand? See what I'm saying? See? So anyway, I wish him luck, but that's the extent of it. I mean, I got to talk about it. That's why we're talking about it right now. I'm paying for it.
That's right. We are.
That's our employee.
Okay.
And if he needs some help, we're going to tell him. And I don't want him reacting in a negative way. They got tools,
Well, hasn't Wheeler been in favor of the results that the protesters got? The attention?
No, he said just do it again. And we did it again this past
So
weekend.
he's not against it.
No.
That's what I meant.
Yeah, he's not against it.
That's a problem.
Yeah, and everybody brings up the Trump. Look, that's up in D.C. That's up there in the D.C. That's the big house
Okay.
with CNN and Fox. I'm interested in Portland, Oregon.
Right.
Portland, Oregon, Channel 2, Channel 6, Channel 8,
Right.
and the local media.
Right.
That's what I'm interested in.
Okay.
And that's I think that would be best for us, because that's exactly what those mayors around the city are doing. They don't have the same problem.
All right. Okay.
They've been around, they're matured. The media is there for them. Police is there for them. They don't have no problems.
Okay.
They may have some minor stuff, but they get rid of it. We're the dumping ground. That's where Daryl was coming from. Is a cesspool.
Oh, yeah.
We got a cesspool, and we got to clean up our own swamp. That's where we are. Everybody talks about the swamp thing, and they're still dealing with it back in D.C., you know what I mean? And that's a different ball game. But I'm not interested. I'm interested in Portland, Oregon, or the state of Oregon.
Right.
And the vets. The vets are kind of like, they got a system going on right now.
Yeah.
They're being taken care of,
Right.
okay? But look at all these other folks that are sitting out there. They need directions. And we want to help.
Okay.
But don't give me this phony bit about housing, and you talk and the housing, and these people, give me a break. Housing down the way. No, we got issues right now. Pick them up off the street, all of them. Vet them. Take care of that mental illness. We used to have a mental illness program over here in Damage.
Yeah.
Developers tore it down and put houses up there and money. We had Wapato. We could have used it as far as I'm concerned, but people played the game. It was a jail. There was no jail. I wasn't talking about no jail. Moose, Daryl Turner wasn't talking about no jail. They just pick up folks. It's Reese's job to house them. That's his job. He's the jailer
Okay.
for the county. So you put a few more beds there. The whole idea is that it's not there to be for the person wants to just stay there. No, the idea is to rehab them again.
Right.
Give them jobs. In fact, do some of the same things that the VA is doing right now for veterans. That's exactly what we're doing. I just went to the meeting.
Right.
Organize.
Okay.
In fact, they should come to the meetings. They'd like to see what's going on.
Can anybody come?
Anybody can come. They can come right now because I'm on the board.
Okay.
I'm on the committee.
Right.
And we're going to be talking about this at least once a month on here.
Sure.
At least some time devoted to the vets. They got something going. And there's some tough problems there.
Okay.
These guys are on drugs. They responded to people who are on drugs, and they don't get fired, if you will. They say, okay, fine. They track them. They make sure that they're still straight. Got my point? See what I'm saying? They're getting paid. They got clean quarters. I mean, it's organized.
Okay.
We need the same thing here in the city of Portland. I want to bring the city of roses back here again.
Okay.
I want, like I said, I want to. That's my bucket list.
You want to have it look like that. Want to have it look special.
I want to enjoy it.
That's right.
I want to enjoy it. I want to see Richard out there, and having a cup of coffee. Say, Rich, I'll meet you downtown. Let's have a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
In the Shrunk Plaza piece over there. They got a nice food cart down there. They got some of that. They got some of that good chicory coffee from Louisiana or something like that. That's where I'm from. Say we'll get some good. You say, Bruce, that's pretty hot, but hey, we can sit down and enjoy. So I mean, but that's kind of like where my head is. I'm not getting angry. I've run for office. I mean, why should I be running for office at the age at this point in time in my life?
Yeah, that's the right time.
But in all due respect, I can't afford to let these young people just go the way they're doing this way. They got a life. I want them to raise their families and be somebody and be successful and be able to pay their bills.
Okay.
So I wouldn't have to pay the bills. You know my point?
That's right.
And I got kids, I got grandkids. They're going to have kids and grandkids. We got to get things back on track. That's why we got to talk about it. And so young Ted Wheeler here, he's got to understand that's where we're coming from. So I want him to recognize that.
Okay.
And right now he's not doing his job for me.
Okay.
And for you and others like us. You get me? We're just a bunch of old folks. No, I'm not a bunch of old folks. No. It might be an age factor, but we've been there. And that's what we're talking about.
That's right.
And a lot of people are angry, but they can't share nothing. They're afraid. All they do is time for voting. I mean, we went through that. Remember, I went through that.
Yeah.
I went through that. It was really a sad situation. And I'm looking at the folks that I'm running against and this, that. I wasn't running against. In fact, they didn't have my background.
Right. I don't see how they could have had your background.
See? And then, but at the same time, but this who had my background.
Okay.
Put the other candidate there. Now we got problems again. We have a lacking belief. That's another OJT situation, on the job training. So now I have to meet with the person who's going to be the district representative for District 2 from Multnomah County. She didn't have any background. And it's not her fault. Who put her there?
Okay. People voted.
She's got some skills.
Okay.
Got some skills. But make sure that the skills that she has relates to the issues that we have within the area.
Okay.
Because people can't wait. They can't wait for a whole bunch of meetings to resolve their problems. You got to be able to deal with it now.
Right.
Is that fair?
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
So, anyway, I've made my piece here on that piece, but I'm not looking. I'm really disappointed about and really upset about the demonstration piece.
Yeah.
Because if we had one last week, this week, what are we going to have next week? We might have a peaceful march, but my point is there's still the element out there that say, I can break that up. I don't like that.
Well, the policemen look like out of the movies.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They have to have all that. They have to bulletproof vest, everything.
Like tanks and whatever. I mean, well, you know Don DuPay, when I've been on the show, former Portland policeman. He never had to worry about being padded up like that. Because you know why? He knew the people that were out there. He knew his district. That's community policing. You got to know community.
Okay.
If they're foreign, you're not wasting their time. You get rid of them. You get them out of there real quick.
Right.
What are you doing here, young man? Bang, put them in.
Okay.
And you're still giving them you actually looking out for their safety. He wasn't pulling his Don during this time. He wasn't pulling his weapon out and shooting anybody. You know, it was, you know, you might have a hickey on your head or something like that if you got slapped upside the head with a slapstick or whatever, but you didn't get shot.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Which is that's another situation, see, that we have here right now. So, yeah, you're right. I mean, the way those guys are, and people are complaining. Well, they look like big goons and this, that, and the other, and we're anti-police. You got to have public safety. Somebody got something. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, we just why have stop signs? Don't worry about that.
Right. Yeah. It's like having borders.
Yes. And all I'm saying is,
Stop
look,
signs.
I've worked too hard to get to the age that I am now to not to be able to enjoy a few more good years.
Yeah. That's right.
That's where I'm coming from, and I'm having to pay for an individual to upset me
Okay.
or prevent me from having a good life at this point in my life.
Right. Right.
That's the problem,
Okay. Okay.
and that's what he needs to understand. Young Wheeler, he needs to understand that. He
Right.
got a dad. In fact, I'd like to talk to his dad.
Oh. Okay.
I'd like to talk to his dad. I really would. I'd like to talk to his dad. In fact, I'd like to talk to him, but I know, and like I said, when I'm thinking about it, I said, well, look, I was in the Marine Corps and I was recruiting, and I was a very successful recruiter. Because I'd only go with the person who needed the help. I was a recruiter. I was recruiting.
And I know you followed through. There's no doubt about
through,
that.
and I sent those guys down in the Marine Corps and women. And now they've come back, and I see them on the streets. They're raising their families. They got a job, and they're feeling good about themselves. You see what I'm saying? You got me?
Yeah.
It wasn't about. It wasn't about. You know. It was about. Hey, family. You know, the whole 9 yards across the board. And see, that's the other thing. See, we don't have that melting pot anymore. That melting pot would solve a whole bunch of the race issue.
Oh.
If you were from down south and down north and whatever, and I don't like white folks and you don't like black folks. Well, when you get in the military and they put those Pugo sticks in the front of your hand,
Yeah.
we have matches, and next thing you know, at the end of the day, I'm going and visit with you at your home, and you going with me and visit my home.
Worked for me.
I did that down south when I was in the Marine Corps and got out of boot camp and whatever. I went down to Mississippi, and I got some very dear friends. Parents might have been Klan, this, that, and the other, but I had that uniform on. I could go in any bar joint I wanted to go in.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
We still gonna have that freedom of speech. We got our different little culture, but but the bulk of us, you know, we still had that cohesiveness. I mean, that glue, and that glue was just with all of the various cultures we have in this country now. We had that American flag, and you know, and everybody participated in the military and spent that 2 years understanding one another.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that was heavy stuff. You know what I mean? And
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You see, and so and it's really sad that others don't have that same feeling that I have or you have. You got me?
Right.
It's got to be, well, I don't like you because of this, that, and the other. I don't even get caught up into that.
Right. Okay.
See what I'm saying? So
I'm
anyway.
gonna want to talk about this shirt here.
Oh, okay. He's got how many minutes?
Are you able to switch on to this shirt?
Well, why don't I bring it over here and I'll just share it? You want me to do it that way?
I can move it right over here.
Let me hold it while you're talking.
Okay.
I'll do that. Now, Richard is getting ready to talk about this shirt here. He said he was wearing. Where did you wear this shirt, Richard?
I was in the airport with this.
Okay.
And there were a few people that understood what this was all about.
Okay. What did it say over there? What did it say on there?
Overpopulation, our fatal march toward global death.
Wow.
And it really is true. But all we have to do is cut down the population. And the
Really? Okay.
people can't understand this one, but it's true. It has to do with resources and the availability of resources here or not available in third world countries.
Wow, that's a wake up call with that statement there,
Yeah.
Richard. I mean, that's pretty heavy. But like you said, I mean, when you think about it today, people get shot, all that good stuff, and bang. You know what I'm saying?
And people saw this at the airport. And
Wow.
there were some that understood totally
Wow.
what it was all about.
Wow.
That's right. So
So what are your feelings about that, Rich? I mean, just lay it out.
I wish
How did you get to that particular point? And a solution.
wish there was some way to get people to understand the importance of cutting down on the size on their families. But at the same time, a big thing right now, it seems like whenever we have a Democratic president in, they do the global gag, or let's see, global gag rule that allows foreign countries to have more money for birth control. And for some strange reason, Republicans don't want to do that. And that's what Trump is trying to stop now too. Why would we not want to do everything we can to cut down on the number of people? There are 69 million people moving around homeless around the earth. And it's just because there's so many. It's just because there's so many of them. And it actually, by the time you include people that don't have good housing, it goes up to 100 million.
Oh, yeah.
It's very unfortunate. And so if there's some way to get Trump to reverse that and keep going with the global gag rule money so that these countries could continue to have more money to be used towards birth control.
Yeah.
It's something that's so basic, and so many people coming from over there in third world, and it's just,
I'll give you a good example, and you can find it right here. Google it. India. Google the country, India. 1.3 billion people.
That's right.
1.3 billion people. Google it and just take the time to look at that 2-hour presentation.
Oh.
Just Google it. It's just rich and poor.
Oh, okay.
And a lot of these people, I mean, you should see how they're living. And they're dying every day. But $1.3 billion, a billion
People.
folks.
That's
people.
right.
Got me?
They see what's happening is we're in a point the Earth is in at this point in time is that where we are. Population is exploding and breeding. People are breeding exponentially. It just keeps going like that, and we have to go out of the way to stop it. If we don't, we've had it. You just can't keep going like this.
Well, the other thing, when you said that point, when I looked at that deal in India, I said, where are the birth control people?
They're Planned Parenthood.
No, but I'm just saying, in India, I'm just saying, when I looked at that deal.
Of all the countries that don't care,
oh my
India's
God.
the number one that
Oh my
doesn't
God.
care.
Oh my God.
They don't
30
care.
seconds.
Wow.
They just don't. Well, we do need to say and thank our crew here.
Yes, let's do that. Yes, let's take our crew.
We're just about in.
Hope they got something out of what we said
And
today. Please,
everybody, I think
have
you,
the discussion.
You did very well.
Well, but
You
hey, the
did
bottom
very
line, we want the people to speak. I mean, it's not just you and I. You know what I'm saying? That you need to start talking because I just can't do it all, and Richard can't do it all. We'll share. You got to start. Get together with your neighbors.
Yeah,
and
get
whatever,
these people that
and talk.
come in.
Yeah, and call you.
Okay, now we're back. Now we're back. And you were very ready to talk about
Oh yeah.
Portland's.
Well, but just my point is the media. You know, these are, for instance, we're going to talk about the newspapers. We're going to talk about what's available to you as a public person here in the Portland metropolitan area.
Okay.
What's available for you? Okay, you can get the Portland Tribune. I mean, it's free. This is a free paper. And what they do, they go around basically putting articles like Portland's $100 million question, questions about mental health crisis, Center Grove, legislature allow hostile environment, labor chief. My point is that these are free. This is free information stuff. You
That's
got people
right.
that are going out.
You got two of them that are free.
Yeah, they're
Willamette
free,
Week and
Willamette Week and the Portland Tribune.
Right,
And
right.
I'd say the Mercury too. You got the Mercury magazine.
Okay.
Those are the three major ones, you know, that are free.
Yeah.
Naturally, the Oregonian is not free, but a lot of times,
right.
if you just go in any restaurant having breakfast or whatever, there's a pile sitting over there for free. And people just get rid of them and throw them around, throw them over. So you can read that one too. And in most
Okay.
cases, then you can compare notes between all three of them, and they write about the same thing
Right.
in many ways. So this is a valuable tool. You get me?
Okay.
That's why.
right.
That's why to me, they're really into the mix, the
Okay.
media people aspect of it, because these people are assigned specifically to do just that. Got me? To
Okay.
go and interview an issue,
Okay.
and then print it and put it in the paper.
That's right.
Whereas on the other hand, I realize that the mayor and those four commissioners, they got all the issues.
Okay.
And no man's an island, right? Or no person is an island. You just can't do
Close
it
enough.
all. You can't do it, if you will. You got me? And that's right. But these people here, they don't get yelled at or this, that. They don't get yelled at. They don't get thrown at. You don't see anybody in the front of major newspapers. These newspapers, every so often, I think Willamette Week got hit pretty hard one time. They put some manures in the front of their, some manure. They dumped some, I think a truckload of manure, whatever, in the front of their office.
Really?
Yeah, they did that. They did
Oh.
that. I think it was manure or something. But anyway, they made a statement. You know what I'm saying? But they did that. But the point is that they've got the issues.
Okay.
You know, and just like we said at the last show that we were into, for instance, they make it excited for you to pick it up, because that's the whole idea. War zone. They got the police. They got the police with the IE, with the tear gas or whatever that's coming out.
Yeah.
Right-wing marchers from across the country.
That's right.
Have declared Portland enemy territory to conquer. They made that statement right there, there. Can you see it?
That's not a good thing for us.
There you go. That's not a good thing for Portland.
That's right.
See, from across country. What about the citizens that were here? You
Yeah.
got me? But they've got quite an article. I would suggest this is today's paper. I mean, this is Wednesday's paper. It's volume 44. Let's see. What day is that on that paper? That's today's. That's this Wednesday, and
You know,
August 8th.
you know, I hate to say it, but shades of Malheur County, is it, or the standoff back there in
Right.
Eastern Oregon.
Yep.
They came from all over to do that.
All over the country.
Something about us.
Well, one, you don't need a permit to just march downtown and do anything you want to do. You get a group of person, and all of a sudden, because one it was just standing down, the cops was just there, and they said, "Don't come here," but you can still do what you want to do.
Yeah.
See, and then after they get through, they got to take care of that person, right?
And they have to clean up.
They have to clean up everything.
That's
and,
right.
You know, I mean, sure, people make some money off of it because the contractors are there waiting to say, "Fine, just keep throwing it all over the place," and in fact, make it a hazardous.
Toxic,
hazardous toxic thing. And then I got to get on my uniform. That's big money. That's huge money to clean that stuff up. You know, and then you got all kinds of stuff. I mean, cleaning stuff up and this, that, and the other. You know,
Especially owners of property
God.
that had to put up with that.
It's almost ridiculous. And then right here's another one that's an issue right now. And this was Wednesday again. Today's Oregonian. Today's Oregonian. There it is right there. There's the most dangerous spots, all east of 82nd.
Yeah.
In Portland, Oregon. Most dangerous spots, all east of 82nd. So you ask yourself the question, how long has this been there? You know, with all due respect, people have been forgetting Southeast Portland many times over. You got me? But it's in the paper.
Okay.
And then they even list them. They even list the.
I'll bet it's Powell Division.
I'm gonna turn it over to him. We just gonna, and hopefully, in fact, if we could open up the line now, it would be neat. But we can't open up the line. That's
Right.
too much work for my buddies right now. But here they are right here. They list the streets. Here are the areas. Portland's top 10 most dangerous intersections.
Okay.
And that's transportation. Now, Clothier Daily is going to be responsible for that
These
bureau.
are good ones to avoid.
That's right. But the bureau person for the city of Portland, that according to the Oregonian, that bureau, the transportation area, is going to be assigned to Clothier Daily. That young lady.
Okay.
Okay? Interesting. But now here they are. Number 10, Southeast 148th Avenue and Stark Street. Total crashes, 71. 71.
I know
Minor
exactly
injuries, 87.
where that is.
Wow. Okay, number 9, Southeast 92nd Avenue and Holgate Boulevard.
Oh, yeah.
Total crashes, 65.
Wow.
Moderate injuries, 20. Minor injuries, 86. Serious injuries, 3. Okay? And it said basically the projects, there is money in 2019 to upgrade traffic signals at this intersection. And their responsibility to deal with this piece.
All I know is
These are-
Holgate is a huge
Yes.
traveled street.
That's
I
huge.
mean, it's
That's
just,
huge. And it's kind of narrow, too. And it's not-
yeah, just one lane.
Let's see, number 8, Southeast 136th Avenue and Powell Boulevard. 72 crashes. 72.
Wow.
Serious injuries, 2. Moderate injuries 23. Minor injuries, 88. 88.
Wow.
And let's see, this said new sidewalks, bike lanes, and upgrades to traffic signals are projected in 2019-20 budget.
All
New
right.
sidewalk, the bike lanes and upgrades to traffic. New side. They should have been sidewalks a long time ago. I mean, what's it?
Okay.
They were all busted up down there. I'm very familiar with the area. Very familiar with the area. Number 7, Southeast 122nd Avenue and Powell Boulevard.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
79 crashes. 79 crashes. Serious injuries, 1. Moderate injuries, 14. Minor injuries, 112. Wow.
How does that?
Wow. Number 6, Northeast 122nd Avenue and Gleason Street. Total crashes, 90. 90.
Wow. Gleason.
Moderate injuries, 24.
Gleason.
Minor injuries, 119. Northeast 122nd and Gleason. Number 5, Southeast 82nd and Division Street.
Oh, yeah.
Total crashes, 92. Moderate injuries, 11. Minor injuries, 123. 123. I mean, that's where that migration, you know, all these folks have been going from northeast and they're
Okay.
going in that direction. So you see the increase, right? You got-
Oh, yeah, that's
okay.
right.
Okay. And then they said that projected bike lanes and other improvements are expected 2018 and 21. That's an interesting piece. Okay, number 4, Southeast 174th Avenue and Powell. Again,
Yeah.
Powell, we had already talked about 122nd Avenue and Powell, right? Now we're talking about 174th and Powell. Total crashes, 86. 86.
You know, we've had nothing but broad daylight.
That's what I'm saying.
How can there be so
Hey.
many?
Minor injuries, 120. This intersection is within the state's outer Powell improvements. Okay? All right? Number 3, Southeast 122nd Avenue and Division Street. Total crashes, 117. 117. Minor injuries, 156. Okay, significant projects are expected. Number 2, Southeast 82nd Avenue and Powell Boulevard. 82nd and Powell. Okay,
Yeah, I know.
total crashes, 138.
The chicken.
Minor injuries, 207. Number 1, Southeast 122nd Avenue and Stark Street.
Yeah.
Total crashes, 122. Fatalities, 1. Serious injuries, 3. Moderate injuries, 18. Minor injuries, 159. I mean, wow.
That's just,
And, you know, but see, and the other thing is they're trying to really get into the bike lane. I mean, that's always been a kind of issue. First off, I was going to ask is that now they got the bike lane. Are they paying any taxes?
okay.
They are paying. Are they?
No,
Aren't they?
I didn't say that.
No, but are they?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
Actually, it turns out bikers pay a great deal of taxes just along with everybody else. Most of them have cars and, well, houses and everything else. They just pay taxes,
Yeah.
a lot of taxes.
well, I'm very familiar
checked
with New
into
York.
this.
New York is really, they bring bicycles all over the place and cars just all, but not young
Especially
folks.
now, this
And
time of year.
Young folks, right. They ride, you know what I'm saying? Because we are in the baby boomer age anyway, see? You got me?
Okay.
Okay, but that gives you an idea of what the problem. And now Daly is going to have that. That's her responsibility. So when you start thinking about potholes, you give her a call.
Okay. Now, who is this? And this is someone
This is
you're
city.
going to talk about.
This is the city. Daly.
You're talking about Chloe?
Yeah, Chloe. She's going to be the transportation chief.
Okay. Well.
That's her bureau.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, that's it. She's going to be the bureau, according to the Oregonian. See, because the Oregonian had laid it out from the standpoint of who's going to be the in fact, it's right here. Okay, she's got Will intends to retain his role as commissioner in charge of police, housing, right? With the housing deal, planning and budget, and management. The official said.
It's a lot, isn't
It's
it?
a lot of stuff. See, it's a lot of stuff. See, you got me?
Okay.
Didn't say anything about homeless.
Okay.
You notice that, don't you? Didn't say anything about homeless. It says housing.
Oh, housing. Oh, that's another way of saying it, isn't it?
High rise. You should say high rise.
Okay.
Okay. The mayor plans to take over the Bureau of Development Services from Commissioner Daly.
Okay.
Okay. Development Services from the commission.
Oh,
And
this-
succeed his leadership of the 9/11 and Emergency Management Bureaus to Commissioner Dan Salzman. So Dan's going to deal with the 911 and emergency management while he's still there. You got me?
Okay.
He's gonna be out of there in a minute, and then because he's gonna be
That's
leaving.
right. He's retiring.
He's gonna be leaving in December. He's gonna be leaving in December.
See, who's replacing him?
Well, that's Loretta Smith and our Joanne Bowman. They're doing the runoff.
The runoff. That's
Yeah,
right.
the
So
runoff.
we still
we'll
have to
talk
have
a little bit
that.
about that. Yeah, we'll talk.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Daly will be assigned the Portland Bureau of Transportation, i.e., your potholes, which had been overseen by Salzman.
Okay.
Okay, and the Regional Arts and Cultural Council, which had been run by Commissioner Nick Fish.
Okay.
That's the art stuff. Nick did a heck of a job with that piece. I mean, he really developed. Plus the director, she was awesome. She was awesome. She's not there anymore, but she was awesome. I mean, she was there from day one, and she's since retired. You know.
Okay.
Still have some issues with that, but anyway, she's going to be running that shop, the art shop, which is interesting. She will retain her post as head of the Office of Civic and Community Life.
Oh, okay.
Now, that's interesting.
That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, so she's going to be able to deal with all the folks that are objecting at city council meeting, I guess.
Okay.
So because she knew all those folks, a lot of those folks put her in office. So
Right.
she should be, maybe she might be the ombudsman. Maybe that might be the trick. And she's going to have to really go out and communicate with these folks.
Okay.
Right? Okay? And maybe the protesters. She'll get out there up front.
Okay.
Contact them.
All right.
Maybe work on putting together an application for a permit or something. Come up with an idea to, you know what I'm saying? To make sure we recognize if it's something that's going to benefit Portland by educating us about what's going on, then fine. But if it's going to draw a whole bunch of people from outside of Portland and just cause chaos and all kinds of problems, it's going to cost taxpayers money for days and not being able to go downtown and enjoying the city on weekends, I mean, that's a concern.
Okay.
So that's her job, okay? Fish will keep the Bureau of Environmental Services and also take over leadership of Portland Parks and Recreation from Commissioner Amanda Fritz. Well, I haven't seen her name yet. What is she? Let's see now. Okay, so Fritz is not going to have that
Oh,
anymore.
Amanda. Yeah.
Amanda, remember Amanda?
Yeah,
I didn't know-
oh.
Is she still on the board?
I hadn't
Yeah,
been
she-
aware of
yeah,
her
she-
not being
She's
on
on
it.
the board. I was just being a little
Sure,
sly.
sure.
Yeah, but I mean, that's the first time I heard her name. But I said, okay, now, it says right here, it says, okay, so she's going to be out of parks, okay?
Okay.
So Amanda's going to, well, Udalia's going to be able to take care of those homeless, because a lot of homeless actually frequent
In the
those
parks.
in those parks. So that's a job. That's a big job.
That's right.
Boy, I would think that Amanda would have gotten it done. Anyway, Fritz in turn will get the Water Bureau from Fish.
Okay.
The water.
Right.
We pretty well got the water. I mean, that's kind of, is that a good, wow. I mean, gee, wait a minute. Is that the only thing she's going to have, that bureau? I guess so. But then Salzman, formerly the transportation commissioner, would keep Portland Fire and Rescue while taking over the 911 and emergency management agency. Wow. He said, Willow spokeswoman Sophia June said the mayor intends to make a public announcement about bureau assignments this week.
Oh, okay.
This is the week of the 8th, so this week.
So
So we got until, we got Friday, you got Friday and Saturday, I guess. No, Friday. We got Thursday,
but the paper
Thursday and
will be
Friday.
out.
You got Thursday and Friday. So the
Tomorrow.
announcement- Yeah, maybe it'll be in the Sunday paper or something
So
like
they-
that.
They'd have to be right on top of
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So that's kind of an interesting piece about that. That's a very interesting one. Okay, that's the bureau. Right. So we went through the bureau thing, right? You got me?
Okay.
Okay, and we got that piece, and then I guess there's some. The Oregonian also talked about Vancouver supports the new bridge, so they're going to go
That's
back
the
to
first
the
I've
table.
heard about
Yeah, there's
that.
something about that. Yeah, the new bridge, and the Oregonian put that out there. Again, like I said, they're statewide. This is our only state paper. This is our only state paper.
but
It's
this
very
is
important.
they've always been against it, right?
Well, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
So I wonder what
something else.
changed their mind.
Well, I was sitting on that board at one time. In all due respect, the so-called what I'm thinking about the people who were basically making all the money and just keeping it in a kind of a stalemate situation, where what do you call those guys? They're just. They were just contractors. They were just contractors,
okay.
and,
All right.
and then they were just basically just meetings, constantly meetings, but nothing happening. Okay, you got me.
Well, they shouldn't influence whether or not you have a bridge or not.
But that's what they were doing, though. That's what I'm saying. That really was the problem, okay? But Vancouver City Council unanimously, this is Vancouver, Washington, unanimously threw its support Monday by building a new Interstate 5 bridge spanning the Columbia River with separated transit lanes and improved bike and pedestrian facilities. Almost 5 years after Columbia River crossing died despite nearly $190 million worth of planning.
That's right. I remember that.
$190 million went down the drain just in the planning. Over more than a decade. Vancouver City leaders voted Monday, okay? Wow.
You could have built 2 or 3 Wapatos with
Yes,
that.
oh, big time. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. That's a. So anyway, that gives you, but it gives you some ideas that you need to pick this thing up, pick up this paper, and,
Yeah, that's right. We encourage people to do that.
Yes, you need to do that. In fact, get your route back again. I mean, I get mine. I'm constantly in the morning, first thing at 5 o'clock in the morning, I'm looking at all these papers anyway, just kind of finding out what's going on. You know what I mean? So one can have a discussion, and then if you're familiar with it, you can call some people. And they got their names up there too. See? Then we got the first right now about the change for the bureaus.
Oh,
See?
okay.
We got the bureaus. We got that right now, right here on this show. See?
Okay.
That's a good piece aspect of it. Now let's go right here to the Portland Tribune. Again, another viable assets that we have here in the Portland metropolitan area. Now here's a big one right here. I start out, said Portland's $100 million question. $100 million. Remember that bond issue for the school district?
Wasn't that
Portland's
one for $700 million?
Yeah, but check this out.
And you know,
Why
whenever
are the
they do
city-
that, they're always short.
That's right.
That's
Why are
the way
city's new
things work
school
like that.
Estimated to cost so much more. The only thing I can remember about that, we fought for that. We were fighting against that on my show, and other folks were too. And I can still remember Steve Dunn having a piece on Channel 2. And I can still remember some woman from out of town came and testified in behalf of the bond.
For it.
For it.
Okay.
Okay? I can still see her. I can
She,
say, boy,
she must like
very-
taxes.
Oh yeah, but for us, but she got on the plane afterwards and left.
Oh, okay.
She's not here anymore.
Oh, all right.
See, and then I saw the panel and Steve was asking some good questions, but I was glad he gave us a visual because the guy who was supposedly responding, in all due respect, the guy who was kind of like running the whole deal was an African American. I said, wow, I didn't even know who he was.
Okay.
The first thing I asked was that, did he build anything? Has he been involved in situations like that? But anyway, but the bottom line is that it said before Portland Public Schools asked voters permission to sell $790 million in bonds to rebuild 4 schools and patch up a few others. Construction consultants told administrators that it would not be nearly enough money. But when they But when they went initially, there was no such thing. They're going to build these things. Everything's going to be great. We got enough money, and everybody was happy. Now we're talking about that's the headline. Portland's $100 million question. What happened to the money?
Yeah, well, why don't they just say what it is? It's just a shortfall.
Yeah, a shortfall, but my point is that they just didn't estimate it right. See, when you spec something out, you got to make sure that when you sign that contract and you bond,
you're supposed to go higher.
That's right, but you're going to do it for what that money is. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? But if you don't have the background, again, you don't ask those questions, and you don't make sure they dot those I's and cross the T's. So I'm questioning the people who put that deal together at Portland Public Schools, who put the numbers together. See?
Does everybody know that that's going to be on your tax roll?
Hey, that's what we're talking about.
And that's why Fred Stewart said that a lot of these people are going to sell their homes and move because their taxes are so much bigger.
And this is kind of like some of the things, as you say, some of the quotes I was making, and Fred and a lot of other folks were making, is that it is unclear what resulted from those warnings. Okay? What is clear is that their predictions are slowly coming true. The district's Office of School Modernization is predicting cost overruns of about $100 million on the 217 bond projects.
Okay.
Months before the May 2017 vote, added about $300 about $300. It must be $300 per year to the average household tax bill.
Yeah,
that's what it was called. $300. Now, Ken Fisher, a construction management consultant from Cray-Harvey or something, voluntarily composed an email. Okay, Fisher was working on the 212 bond, but was worried. Okay, but worries enough about the 217 figures being too tight that he flagged several concerns to Dan Jung, who still leads the Portland Public School Bond Office.
Oh.
Okay? Dan Jung, D-A-N-J-U-N-G, works for the Portland Public Schools, and his boss, former Chief Operating Officer Jerry Vinson. That's what he says. I understand what was done and why, but I am concerned that the 4 options on the one pager are too lean. Wow.
Okay.
Fisher wrote January 24, 2017. He recommended the district go back to the professional cost estimator they use. The professional cost estimator they hired outside.
Okay.
Okay. Who was he working for? Okay. Okay. Called estimator, the firm of Ryder, Levette, Bucknell, RLB, RID, okay, to get their input. As far as the district can tell, Vinson didn't do that. Okay? Mm-hmm. Vinson, okay, worked for the Portland Public School. He didn't do that. And neither did he share the estimates that RLB had already put together.
Okay.
What I know from Superintendent Guadalupe Guerrera thus far is that there's no, and we got to really follow this. I'm sorry I'm reading this, but folks, you need to pick a copy of it. It's on the stand right now. It's on the stand. No clear explanation, said school board member Annie Comston. Those estimates were not publicly transmitted to anybody. Now you got a school board that should be on top of it, right?
Okay, right.
Okay, and you got a school superintendent that's supposed to be on top of it, right?
Okay.
And you got a person inside the operation that's supposed to be handling the bond measure deal, and a contractor to deal with the whole deal, right?
Okay.
And they're short $100 million. Okay. RB has given estimates that the bond projects, Madison, Lincoln, Benson, and Kellogg schools, plus $150 million of health and safety improvements, would cost at least $894 million, $1 billion almost. it would cost only, let me see this, $1.6 billion, 1.06, okay? So why did the district end up telling voters it would cost only $790 million?
Oh, that's right. That's right. I don't know
So
what
who's
these
gonna pick
people
up the
do.
tab? I mean, these people should be fired tomorrow, yesterday. In fact, they need brought back and
Or stop the spending they're doing now.
and well, the ones that have retired still getting money. They should be cut off. The retirement should be cut off. They didn't do their job.
Or send them into retirement.
That's
or
right.
something.
But retire with no money.
With no money. Okay.
No money. Okay, no money. Okay, now understand. Now, these are just our opinions. We're just talking right now at this point
Right,
in time.
right.
But I want you to pick up this paper. Let you get as angry as we are.
That's true.
Because it's coming out of my pocket, it's coming out of his, and it's coming out of your pocket. Okay? But you may not be paying any taxes. You may be just visiting today, but this is happening all over the place. But say, and then now here's one of the people who's on the school board who we supported, and she's going to be the new chair. Join the club, said school board chair Rita Moore. I have no insight. Now she wasn't on the board when that happened, but she was campaigning.
Okay.
She could have said something then.
Okay.
We talked about that. That's a good question, said Kevin Spellman, chair of the Bond Accountability Committee. I don't have the answer either. It's a question that risks hundreds of millions, maybe even billions of dollars. The 2012 and 2017 bonds are part of a 30-year plan to ask for back-to-back bonds that would upgrade all of the dilapidated schools in the district. If voters lose faith in the bond project management, they may not agree to give the district the money. Okay, now check that out now. If voters, here it is, voters like you and I and Richard sitting up here, our responsibility again, we gave the responsibility to these folks. They didn't do the job, but guess what it says now? If voters lose faith in the bond project management, that means that that person that's running this deal right now and suggesting we need another $100 million, they may not agree to give the district the money.
I don't know where you get $100 million.
No, they shouldn't get it. Cut it off now. I mean, that's what I'm so neat about. I mean, it's quite an article here. I'm just reading this stuff, but this is a very important piece because this is costing us quite a bit of. This is grief. This is stress.
Right over about 68th and Powell, they're tearing down the school that was there.
Wow.
I mean, huge blocks
Wow.
of concrete,
Wow.
a two-story building,
Wow.
and it's going to be a middle school project.
Right.
That's what it
Wow.
says. So
Wow.
it's all part of it, I'm sure.
But the thing that gets
one
me
I
about
happen to
this,
see.
I've been in construction. I built the senior citizen project, everything. But my point is that when I made the agreement with the contractor, because I was part of the piece too, at the same thing. I was one of the co-contractors building it. We had to dot the I's and cross the T's.
That's
And
right.
what that bond is to say that to me, the owner, says, okay, fine. We're gonna build this thing for $1.6 million or something like that.
Okay.
And then for $1.6 million, and we had to approve the plans that in fact we built the project on the architectural table, right? You got me? It's going to be built this way. That's what it's going to cost.
Okay.
And then the bond company bonds it for that, right?
Right.
That's what happens. If the contractor stops on the jobs and whatever, it's the bonding company to make sure that that person get that job done for that to a certain degree.
Okay.
They're supervising that piece. So at the end of the day, the owner who says it's going to be his building is saying, well, look, I got he got the finances for 1.6 million or whatever, in my case, or whatever, from a bank. And then the idea is that the bank says, okay, fine, but you got to be a bond. You got to make sure that, because you got a loan here. We're not in the construction business. The bank does. See?
Right.
And so the name of the game, if anything falls out with the contractor, guess what? They get off, and then the bonding company brings in another contractor. They're the one that says, I will get that building done for 1.6. If it costs for 1.10, that's their job, their business. Somebody
Right.
got to be responsible for the piece.
Okay.
So that's I'm just giving you just a short overview of what happens with this deal. Somebody didn't do the job. Because I knew builders were
you
pushing.
could tell that.
I knew builders were working hard to get that job. You know,
Sure,
like anybody
they
else
wanna do.
But you know, it's like the fox in the hen house. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
They were on the board and checking things out too. It wasn't their responsibility. It was the school board's responsibility. But guess what? There were no contractors sitting on the school board. Okay?
Right.
And when they were running, so school board member Julia Brim Edwards said that as a taxpayer herself, okay, she wants to know the answer.
Okay.
Now she does come from a business. She comes from Nike and this and that. But it's going to be interesting to see what she says. It's not going to. I hope she doesn't say. I'm not. Let me read the rest of it. For the district to have credibility the next time out, it has to be. This is what happened, and this is what we're going to do to make sure it doesn't happen again. Brim Edwards said, "Wait a minute. Wait. Not this don't happen again. No, we're not going to come up with the $100 million. You work with what you got. Don't tax. Don't go out there and tell the taxpayer we're gonna bill you another tax on your house. Got me?
Okay.
Because we're already, especially seniors, already having a problem trying to keep what they got. We got a gentrification problem here in this city
Okay.
to seniors. These are people that have worked hard to get that dream, that American dream, that home. You got me?
Okay.
And they're constantly being taxed out of it. Gentrifying. You know, I'm
Okay.
not just talking about blacks, I'm talking about everybody. Anybody
Right.
that worked their rear end off just to get that house paid for, right?
Okay.
All of a sudden the taxes, i.e., are coming out, and guess what? They on limited income. They know exactly where their monies are, and all of a sudden, next thing you know, you can't afford it because you can't pay the taxes. You
Okay.
get my drift? So
Right.
that
That's
answer,
right.
That's not the answer.
taxes will be too much.
Yeah, so this is not the answer, Julie. No, not for the district to have credibility the next time out. It has to be not the next time out. No, right now. Right now, we're looking at $100 million. Hey, whatever money you got left, that's what you build it on. Nothing beyond that. Find out who made the mistakes. Did the contractor make the mistake?
Okay.
Did the person who's supervising make the mistake? Did you bond the person who's supervising it?
There shouldn't have been any mistakes.
No mistakes.
This kind of money.
That's what the bond was all about.
That's right.
And they said, look,
Just too
we're
much
going to
money.
assure the school district that they had to get the bond because someone told them, look, you can build this building with these plans for this amount of money. That's it.
Right.
You can't go up on tile or lumber or concrete if it's going to take 3 years to do. That concrete has already been bought for that project.
Right.
If it increases, that's somebody else's deal. So those are the kinds of things I looked out for when I did what I had to do.
Right.
I was under budget to a certain degree.
Yeah, that's the right way to do it.
So now that
Always go high.
Yeah, there's a number of other columns here, but you need to pick this paper up. District investigating. Again, here we go. Investigate. How can you investigate? You don't have anybody to investigate.
Okay.
You should be investigating you for making the mistake. Who made the mistakes? Okay, district continues to investigate. That's one guy. The road to $790 million.
That's a lot of
something?
money.
Was it an award? Wow.
I know it was time to redo schools, but you can't do it all at once.
Wow.
You just have to.
And now check this out. Graham Roy, Executive Vice President of RLB, that's that company, remember that? Declined to speculate what happened to his firm's estimates, noting a large amount of turnover in the district office. Well, they're arguing and fighting in the district, right?
Okay.
And the elections, right?
Okay.
You know, he said, well, they were supposed to be, he was making presentations to them, and they were saying yes, 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 but they didn't know what they were saying yes, yes, yes to.
Okay.
See, somebody didn't catch it. Okay, that's basically what he was saying. But he's saying, not my responsibility. I'm just here.
Right.
And I tell you what it is, and then you just dot the I's. I'm not going to tell you how you made a mistake
Oh, right.
in many ways. You know what I'm saying? Money's money. It's always green.
Okay.
See? And so he said, I'm not sure why there was any difference in the numbers, Roy said. Another theory is that former interim superintendent Yusef Awad had something to do, hope I got his name right, to do with the too small budget. he was, after all, the district main finance person. Get paid, healthy, okay?
That's right.
All right.
That's where you got to turn to.
Awkward, who is in a legal battle with the district over his firing last fall, said in a statement to the Tribune that the cost estimate from RLB that the district is now showing around are just a snapshot in time of a process that was moving back and forth. What kind of a answer is that? You mean that they give you a number, and that's just kind of a snapshot. This is what it might cost, you know what I mean? But this is where we're coming from, and show you a rendering, you know, of what it looks like. You look at the pretty pictures, and you, oh, this is great. But no one talks to you. What about the inside and the bricks and the mortars? You got my point?
Right.
That's
right.
the cost. They see the rendering, and they see the little rendering. You know, they have the little miniature model. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. And then they sign the papers.
Right.
If I had my way, I'd sign the papers after it was built.
Okay.
Oh, you understand what I'm saying?
All right.
Okay. There were many permutations. Awad said, early iterations had many different estimates using different assumptions, and as assumptions changed, Jerry Vincent and his team would come back with different numbers, and the board committee and the bond project team would react and ask questions. The former district finance chief said the district needs to produce the detailed spreadsheets, he says. That's where I was coming from. I'm looking at that committee. I said, who's built anything here? They couldn't answer the question.
Okay.
Put together of all the different cost variables and how they arrived at $700 million. See, someone gave them that number.
That's right.
And they would just be in a committee meeting and say, well, this is what we're going to do. There's the renderings right here. This is how it's going to look, et cetera, et cetera. And so it's going, well, that's $700 million.
Sometimes I think
And they sign off on it.
The board just puts it together.
That's right. They have no background.
Yeah.
Similarly, district spokesman Harry Estes said that's conceivable. I haven't seen that, so I don't know if that exists or not, Estes said, but it's possible. It's out there. We are still combing to get more records. Give me a break. What are we paying these people for?
Okay.
I remember the water deal. I jumped up there about the water. You know, the water that the kids were drinking, if you will. Got me?
Lead in the water?
Yeah, lead in the water. Remember that deal?
Yeah.
Aspect of,
Were you involved in that?
Oh, yeah, very much so. I challenged them right off the bat. You know what I mean? They didn't want to, the parents didn't know what to do. I stood up and said something about it. You know, but again, too,
serious stuff.
It was very serious stuff, and it took them forever, and you had to stay on top of them. And they just finally got it done. Kids were still drinking water out of the bottles.
The bottle.
Just bottled water.
Yeah, bottled water. That's okay.
Yeah, but in some cases they say you got to figure out what bottle you were buying for the water to get in it.
Yeah.
See, some people were challenging the whole issue of plastic. Remember that? So no, I told you so. Let's see. Fisher, the consultant who in 2017 brought forward pages of concerns about the options being presented to the school board, said despite his earlier concerns on cost, he has full faith in the school bond office. Wow. When you're dealing with numbers at this magnitude and the diversity of a program like that, they're estimates. Fisher said, I regret, like all of us, that we're in the situation we're in right now, but there's no I told you so. So my point is, and Steve Dunn had that committee live for the people. And they didn't know what they were talking about.
Okay.
But Steve put the format there and laid it out.
Okay.
And he gave everybody the opportunity to come and speak. But I didn't see any builders in there, or developers, or the finance person. I'm saying, talking about the money.
They would know about that.
They would know about that kind of stuff. See?
That's right.
You get me? So here we go again. Taxpayers. When you elect these people, you make sure they got the background to know what they're talking about. See, again, it's the same old deal. We basically get these flyers in the mail about maybe Mary Jane holding the babies and this, that, and the other. The guy's kissing the babies, or this, that, and the other, and he looks better than this guy here. No. What is the job description
Okay.
And does your background fit the job description?
Okay.
You can be Mickey Mouse as far as I'm concerned, as long as you get the job done. Got my point? And you're not going to get the job done, got me?
Okay.
Looking like someone else. See? So my point is that shows you the value of these newspapers.
Okay.
There's the value of the newspaper.
Right.
Now they've done the
People
work.
should get them.
Yeah, they've done the work. But at the end of the day, because everybody's pointing finger, well, it was you. It wasn't me. It's just like this guy at Fisher, the consultant who in 2000 brought forward pages of concern about the options being presented to the school board, said despite his early concerns on the cause, he has full faith in the school bond office. Okay, so then I'm saying, now get right down to the bottom. I'm just basically reading, but pick the paper up tomorrow. Pick it up tomorrow. Okay. Now, however, we got the big issue for me, frankly, is what we got and what's the best we can do with Brim Edwards echoed. This is the last two paragraphs. I got to read those. Brim Edwards, that's the school board chair. She was the chair. She just handed over to this other lady. Gee, I had her name over here for a minute. I mean, so anyway, she says sentiments. She says the central question to her now is: do we deliver the schools that we were promised voters, or do we deliver it in the budget, and maybe it's less of a school? Well, guess what? It's less of a school.
Well, okay.
I mean, let's not look. I can't afford it anymore. You got many seniors out there that they're already losing their homes because of taxes.
They've overextended, and they're going to be asking for more. I can't believe they're going to be asking for more.
That's right. In fact, look at the budget. You know, what are you paying? I mean, I'm not talking about the teachers. I'm talking about the administrative area. You start cutting some of that fat out of the school budget.
Okay.
Not the fat in the classroom, but the fat in administration. Okay?
Okay.
And then go back to that bond company and sit in out there and get the key people and maybe get together with the builders, the contractors that are doing the work and say, look here, we want this thing done the way it was supposed to have been done, complete. Are you guys willing to throw in some of that money back on the table so we can get this stuff for the kids?
Okay.
You're not going to get the same 6 or 7% profit on this whole piece. Maybe you might want to consider 3. Can you do it? Somebody needs to negotiate.
Okay.
And then say, okay, fine. Well, I'll tell you what we're going to do. Then maybe what we might want to do is that, I don't know what. Now you got to look at the contract. Did we sign the contract? But for the futures, well, futures. Well, I'll tell you what, we may go out for another bid, because people are hurting for work. They want work.
Okay. All right.
It might have been a union job. Might have been a non-union job. If it's a union job and it's costing maybe more than non-union, then we go with non-union, bid the job. If it's a non-union job and then the union would bid less then we go with the union.
Okay.
Somebody need to be at the table and say, look here, we got to put some fat. We got to raise $100 million.
Okay.
And we want everything the way it was supposed to be. That's where you start first, is who's got the money? Who got the contract of the money? So fat in the school would be a good one. The taxpayers say, oh, they got some sense because I can stay in my home. What about all those seniors? What about all those seniors?
Okay.
What about all that whole issue of gentrification we talk? But every time people tend to represent that, it's just the minority community. No. It's not. It's more than just the minority community.
Okay.
It's the community as a whole. You got me?
Right.
If you're living in that school district, you're going to be impacted.
Okay.
It's not just in Northeast Portland.
Right.
See? Okay. She added that another consideration is whether the school promised the voters take a little longer to build. Oh, wait a minute. A little longer to build? Okay.
Right.
If the little longer to build was going to save us $100 million, I guess I'll buy that. But how long you talking about?
Whatever puts interest on top of the cost.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So you got to call the contractors to sit down with you, the people who are building this stuff, and say, man, look, let's talk some business. This is for the kids. This is for community here.
Okay. All right.
And they got some good key builders out here that have been community, I mean, big time, and I'm talking about the Walsh brothers. You know Tom Walsh. Remember
yeah.
Tom? And his
I
brother ran the
remember that
construction industry.
coming and going. There was something
these guys
he was totally involved in here a while back.
Kelly, the Neil Kellys, you got Tom Kelly. We got some tough folks out here that are very community related, and you need to bring those folks at the table and say, look, we got a problem here. We got $100 million we got to find. Somebody screwed up. Tom, Kelly, please put a team together and let's get this thing done.
Really?
That's what they should do.
That's quite an idea.
Call the guys in. And Mr. Mayor, I hope you understand, because that's still in the city, and you can learn something from these guys.
And you may have to stop some project just to save money.
That's right. And then
It's very possible.
It was another councilman said, it's true that the cost estimates from the district cost estimators were not shared with the board. Check that.
Okay.
He said, the cost estimate from the district's cost estimators were not shared with the board.
Okay.
Okay? But even so, costs are changing faster than anyone expected.
You always wonder about that, don't you?
See, so the name of the game, though, but see, that's what I did. Basically, what I'm saying, no, when I signed the contract, it was to build it for 1.6, something like that, $1 billion. But that was it. When you give me that price, if the cost of lumber or something fluctuates, buy the lumber now. Mm-hmm. So you buy the lumber and you buy all your materials now.
Okay.
That's the cost I ask. But a lot of times, if you don't understand the game,
okay,
guess what? Lumber goes up, and then a lot of times they'll charge you, they'll order it at the peak.
Okay.
If you're on the other side with the contractor, the guy building something, right? It's about the money, right?
All right.
See, but that's normal. But even so, costs are changing. That's not the whole story. Husband said, the climate that we're trying to build in is really the bigger story. What climate you talking about? The climate was when you started the negotiating to get to begin with.
And they thought they had smaller amounts.
That's right.
That's right. You always got to guess more higher.
You got to know what you're doing.
And you got to guess higher, no matter what.
I didn't see, again, like I said, I didn't see the Walshes sitting on no committees.
Right.
I didn't see the Kellys, Tom Kelly sitting on the committees.
Okay.
I mean, I didn't see I didn't see the Hoffmans. Hoffmans is quite a citizen. They're quite city folks. You know what I'm saying? I didn't see those guys sitting at the table saying, "Let's put this package together for our community." Mm-hmm. Got me? And to me, they were available, but that's the job of the mayor. But the mayor's got to be enough respectful with those individuals that I just shared with you that they would respond.
Okay.
They're not just going to respond to just a nobody. Now, I'm not saying he's not necessarily a nobody, but someone that doesn't have the knowledge. They're not in the business to do
right.
that.
That's right.
But this is community. This is about our kids. But at the same time, this is about our seniors too, because they're being driven out of their homes.
That's right.
So
that's right.
First thing I would say that the school district should say point blank, if they're thinking about making any changes from this day forward, cut the deal, cut the tax, if
cut
you will,
the losses,
the losses from the seniors right now.
Okay.
Cut that off.
Okay.
Now go back over here, and then maybe some of the young people can have a demonstration to the school district.
Some protesters.
Protesters, and I'll be right in the front of the deal, but we'll get a permit. But no, that should not be. The project, the way it's built, the way they told the citizens they sold it, that's what we want.
Yeah, right.
No more money.
That's
no more money. No more money. None whatsoever. Let's dot the I's right now. I want a new committee.
I mean, I'm for what you say. I'm just, who knows what it is to be realistic.
Yeah. And see, I'm just talking common sense.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing it. I'm not trying to get these guys involved, but they know me, I know them.
Right.
I know Kelly. Tom, his dad was quite a community person. He was in that business. And Tom is now running the whole shop. And the Walshes, they're around. They've been there. Big time.
That's right.
And I know how community they were related. And, and they might be a little older right now, but they know the business.
That's right.
They know the business. They know the game. See, you got me? And see, they're not looking for the gain, if you will, in their own pocket. They're looking at it from the kids' standpoint.
They've had theirs.
They've had theirs. But they're looking at it from the kids' standpoint, the community, the futures.
That's right.
And making sure that those seniors stay in their homes.
Okay.
Don't get them in that gentrification era. worrying about where they're going to live and where they're going to sleep, where they're going, where they're going to eat tomorrow.
Right.
I know how these guys are, the ones I just mentioned. They're very community related, very community. So that's the other thing that's very important. Like I said, there's a picture of our mayor in this deal, and he talks about that was the other big issue that was here. Mayor supports city police officers in email, and that's another good article to look at, because the rationale here, he's saying that Wheeler clarifies stance after being blasted by union chief.
Yeah.
See, now he's talking
do you email?
He's talking about Daryl Turner. See, but guess what he did? He blasted it, sent an email to the troops. Now these
Supposed
the
to
troops,
do that?
No, and the troops are not going to respect him for doing that.
That's what I'm thinking.
The chief for those troops is Daryl Turner. Common sense. And it's not, and he was, and naturally, I can't expect the chief outlaw, his chief, to be able to try to argue with him about doing what he did. She should have said that, but she couldn't do that because she signed the contract to be his chief.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? He didn't have Turner at the same table.
Oh, okay.
Been better to have Turner, regardless, he might have opposed something because he's a union man. And they're gonna go back and forth. But at the end of the day, we're the ones that signed the deal, the public. So if he responded to us, we got his back.
Okay.
But he's doing his own thing, and you can't do that. I would have said right up front, no, we don't need to hire an outside chief if you want to get maybe it's an assist, but you want to get from within. Well, they're not doing it. Well, hey, you got to sit down and talk to these people.
Okay.
Because you've never been in the military before, Mr. Mayor. You don't know. So, I mean, you're in a whole different era. And I understand that. And I respect that with these young folks. I mean, when we were young, we were talking about our parents, right?
Right.
But we had some sense of supervision.
Oh yeah, right.
Because mom and dad then was still at the table, right?
Right.
You got
Oh
me?
yeah.
But right now,
along with us.
we're not at the table. And he needs to understand that. This is but the Tribune put it on the front page.
We got to make a comment here. This is a Tuesday issue, and tomorrow is a Thursday.
This is the 8th. That's right. This is Tuesday. I'm sorry. This is Tuesday.
Tomorrow there'll be a new issue.
This was Wednesday. This was Wednesday.
That just came out.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Warzone just came out.
This is the Tuesday issue right now. Okay. It talks about this is a big one right here about the school district. Okay. Everybody ought to pick this one up. If you really want to get the down, you can't get it in those sound bites.
Okay.
On the little news, because they'll give you 1 minute deal on it and it's gone. And a lot of times people don't want to deal with Comcast and nothing like that. But this is right there with you. You can get a cup of coffee or something and you can just read it.
Right.
It's right there. It's free.
Okay.
It's free. Pick up this paper here. Pick this one up. There's a good background, a little bit more on this whole business. And then you got the Oregonian right here, which was the 8th that I was reading out of. Talking about those potholes that he was talking about, and talked about the change of the guard for the bureaus under the mayor's. That's going to be interesting, and it's kind of interesting that I don't even know her name anymore now. I mean, how you got? I'm thinking about the other commissioner that sits up there. What's her name? Fritz. I mean, it's kind of small. I mean, took the parks from her and kind of put her.
Amanda.
Yeah, kind of threw her under the bus there a little bit. Gave her the water.
He's just kind of operating a little quieter.
Yeah, quieter. He got just knocked out. And all due respect, and I can understand. She's struggling trying to maintain. She doesn't have that kind of background to deal with the pothole.
Right.
I mean, the community thing. She gave that community thing. She took the community. She kept. He made a. Let's see. She's keeping the community thing too, right? That's a tough job as it is.
Any of those are.
Yeah. She got to deal with her constituency that got her elected. They're pissed off at her right now. So anyway,
I think we got 1 minute.
1 more minute. Well, this has been great, folks. Pick up the newspapers, please.
And
get involved.
Thanks to our crew for making this show possible.
He's done a heck of a job, and thanks to Open Signal for giving us the opportunity to do what we're doing.
That's true too.
Okay, and invite the mayor and everybody else. We still have a mayor in this town. Just let him know what's on your mind. Give him a call.
Yeah, that's never too late to do that.
No, it's not.
Remind him about the pothole.
Well, he's still the mayor.
That's right.
Just like Trump is the president. And you might get angry at him, but he's the president of the United States.
That's right.
He's the mayor. I mean, I don't want to call him. I don't want to call him Ted Trump Wheeler,
Right. No.
But my point is that look like that gets people excited, and they get excited about the person. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But no, but he's the mayor. He's the mayor of the city of Portland. So, Mayor.